All right, people. So here is a CBS News article on what to know on day 25 of the government shutdown. We're going to go over a quick recap on what the CBS News article says. We'll talk about a few more things in just a second, but what to know on day 25 of the government shutdown. Look, the government shutdown is now on day 25 with no resolution in sight as both sides remain entrenched in their positions over longest funding lapse in history. This is crazy. Hello, random player. How you doing? Hope everything's going well. It's good to see everybody on here whenever anybody pops in. I always appreciate it, no matter what. You guys are incredible. Give me just a few moments, folks. I got to get a couple things on here real quick. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, do you want it? Do you need it? Ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, do you want it? I don't slide into people's DMs, random player. I know you want me to. I'm sorry. I know everybody wants me to simp for them, but I don't like sliding into people's DMs. I'm not a fan of that. So I know you want me to, but that's just not how I roll. That's not how I roll. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the enthusiasm. See, we toggle the pin. I got one girl in my life. That's all I need, man. That's all I want. Ten super chats. Okay, so share how I'll celebrate. These are all good questions that you guys are asking. Dude, I'm always behaving very gaily. Anyway, so the Senate adjourned on Thursday and won't return until Monday afternoon, meaning the impasse is all but certain to stretch into next week. The upper chamber has failed to advance a GOP funding bill 12 times, most recently on Wednesday. A separate Republican-backed bill to pay federal employees and contractors who continue working during a lapse in appropriations failed to advance on Thursday. But Senator Ron Johnson, the sponsor, said he would continue talks with Democrats in hopes of passing it next week. Hopefully they figure out something, because here's the thing. I don't think it's a good thing to keep the government shut down for too long. But then again, maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe this will give Trump the opportunity to get rid of a lot of the federal agencies that we just don't need. More than 40 million Americans are at risk of going without food assistance benefits at the end of the month if the shutdown continues. Wow, that is a little bit scary. Look, there are families that do rely on those benefits, so there are kids that, I don't want kids to go starving. That's the last thing I want. And if they need to reopen, if that is what is at stake, that is a scary prospect. Thank you, QWE. QWE. I do a lot of face paint and I do a lot of gay stuff. I do a lot of gay. I'm very gay on this channel. In reality, I'm actually a fairly straight dude. Well, I act a little flamboyant. I'm just a flamboyant kind of guy, I think, deep down, and that's about all there is to it. There is a shortage of air traffic controllers, which is causing major flight delays in Phoenix and San Diego. That's what CBS News is saying. So it's saying on this article, many travelers out of Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport and San Diego International Airport on Friday evening were experiencing longer than normal delays as the two airports contended with a shortage of air traffic controllers. Damn, there's a lot of like flight delays happening. Random player, I'm sorry, I just want to let you know, there are no mods on this channel. We don't moderate, we don't block anybody. You know, we let people have free reign to say what they want. I got a lot of crazy people that come into the chat for sure. But yeah, and I do tend to talk about finance and politics, and we're going to talk about the crypto markets and the stock market. Now, I think the crypto markets are bullshit. I think crypto sucks. At the end of the day, I think crypto is phony baloney dildo money. But at the same time, I want people to realize that, you know, these things do affect even the crypto markets. Because, not going to lie, people are going to have to pull out of their... yeah. You guys hash it out. Random player and QWE, you hash out whatever dispute you guys got to hash out, because I don't really care that much. I just don't care. That's the one thing, man. I care. There are certain things to care about. You don't have to care about everything in this life, because it's just a little too crazy of a task in my mind to have to care about everything. It's so frustrating. I've never understood that. I think too many people get caught up in too many stupid things. Like, I'm not going to lie. I do see that happen a lot. And, ladies and gentlemen, oh, do you want it? Yeah, do you need it? Yeah, do you want it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. So do you guys think that betting against Bitcoin is a smart idea? I mean, I've been betting against Bitcoin for a very long time. Well, not super long, but long enough. I just don't understand why people think it is the next big thing. Me personally, I love betting against the Bitcoin because, well, it's obviously we all know it's grifter currency money. I agree with Peter Schiff that at the end of the day, it's a net negative. Look, Bitcoin is a net negative to society. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't think that look, if you've gotten rich off of Bitcoin, which I think Random Player, you've said on multiple occasions that you've gotten rich off of Bitcoin, right? So at the same time, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things, man. So look, here's the thing. Whale full space, you're saying because you're not betting against the banks. What? Look, Bitcoin sucks. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that Bitcoin is a net negative to society. It's not valuable in any single form or fashion. The transactional times are so freaking slow. Like, it bugs me that people think that Bitcoin is the future when in all actuality at this point, Bitcoin's a freaking dinosaur. All crypto, by the way, sucks. I think that the software is incredible. I'll be the first to say this. I love the software. I think it's fabulous. But at the same time, you guys are lying to yourselves. You're lying. Liar! You're lying. You guys are deluding yourselves into thinking that Bitcoin is something it's not, right? You are lying to yourselves at the end of the day. BTC Lightning, first off, Bitcoin Lightning, whatever. I mean, like, Bitcoin in itself is still slow as shit. So why do people still invest? Why do people still put their money into Bitcoin then? Why? It's so slow naturally. You could say BTC Lightning, but it's not Bitcoin though. That in itself isn't Bitcoin. I'm talking about OG Bitcoin. Why are people still throwing their money in that dinosaur? Right? Why are people trading their money, their time basically, for something that is basically a string of data? That is what I don't get, man. I think crypto is a net negative to society, but how does the government shut down the crypto markets? Like, how does it affect it? Well, honestly, I think it affects it a lot, especially if SNAP benefits get cut, because I think a lot of the people, and this is not to even be a slight on anybody on SNAP benefits. This is like, if you put a lot of money into Bitcoin, you're probably a gambler and you may have SNAP benefits because you gamble all your money away and you don't have enough money for food to feed your family because you're a gambler. I'm not saying that's the same. That's a stereotype right there. But I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that it is a likely scenario though. Right? And that needs to be considered. Hey, thank you for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. Everybody who's subscribing, it does help the channel quite a bit. It does allow us to grow in multiple ways, so thank you. Laugh out loud. By the way, while you guys are here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right there. Hit it. It does help the channel grow, and more super chats, more subscribers we have, the better. Also, super chats do help quite a bit. We do appreciate super chats. Keeps the show going, keeps the show running. Now, look, I'm not saying that people should short Bitcoin, right? What I'm trying to say is talk to a financial advisor, right? Talk to a financial advisor. That's what I do. I bet against Bitcoin because Bitcoin sucks. I don't think you guys should because you may not have the temperament for it. But anytime I see Bitcoin go up on a bull run, I'm like, yeah, I'm betting against it. Absolutely. Because I know how quickly because, dude, Bitcoin's hit its limit, in my opinion. Bitcoin was already hanging by a thread before the finance industry got a hold of it. And the reason the finance industry is now so interested in it is because they realize that it's an infinite game of suckers that they can exploit and they can make money off of. Those big financial institutions like BlackRock, the only reason they own Bitcoin is so they can manipulate the price as a whale. I don't have any financial courses. I don't sell courses. That's like the one thing I refuse to do. I'm not a financial advisor. Talk to an actual financial advisor. None of this is not financial advice. All I talk about is this. I love investing. I do it for entertainment and educational purposes only, not financial advice. I want to make that clear. It even says it in the description, So you guys can interpret however you want. That's up to you, but I know what I am, and I'm not a financial advisor. And this is not financial advice. Well, I'm doing a lot of stuff in my live stream. I know that everybody's gooning. I know everybody goons on here. Look at QWE. I don't want you to don't pressure people to give me money, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't. Stop it. QWE, stop it, man. Stop it. QWE, we can't. I don't ban people either. It's a very tough road. I don't like banning people, so I just can't. I can't find it in my heart to ban people. I want people to say what they want to say. No, you guys, stop it. If you guys want to give me super chats, I guess I look, super chats I do appreciate heavily. I will say that. It's not a requirement, though. Preferably, I want everybody to subscribe if possible.
Laugh out loud.
Time for my monthly member-only rim jobby.
Random player, I don't make anybody moderators. I just don't. I don't. It's not how this channel works, my friend. I'm sorry. Not that kind of channel. But I appreciate people who want to be mods. I get it. But not that kind of channel, man. Just not that kind of channel. So I think this is going to affect. I think this is going to affect a lot of things. One of the big things that are going to be affected here is. Let's see. Okay. Actually, let's answer. I do want to answer this question. So we have a member chatting in. Members do get priority as well. So Jump Far says, "Hey Michael, I have around $350,000 in savings, and I own my own home. Trouble is, I'm only 45, medically retired, and only have income of $80,000 per year." Okay, I'm a little confused as to what the problem is. Jump Far, you sound like you're doing incredible. So let me get this straight. So Jump Far, you have $350,000 in savings. That's fantastic. Do you have it at least in a high yield savings account so you're getting some sort of yield from it? Even though, I don't know. I think that's incredible. Hopefully you're getting some sort of yield on that. You own your own home. Do you own it outright, or are you still mortgaging it out? Trouble is you're only 45, medically retired, and only have an income of $80,000 a year. So you're telling me that you only $80,000 per year is actually really good. Just live a low end lifestyle. That's what I would do, man. That's what I would do. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I want to make that very clear. So none of this is actually financial advice. Random player retired years ago. Oh, heck yeah, dude. 5.5% term deposit. So you're getting 5.5% annually on your savings account. That's incredible. I mean, dude, here's the thing. Here's what my opinion and Tony Robbins' opinion is on this. Income is the outcome. I repeat, income is the outcome. So if you're getting some sort of income from your savings account and you're making and you're also making $80K a year, do you have any, have you invested in any equities at all? For instance, do you have like any Vanguard ETFs that expose you to the entire market, for example? I would say, here's the thing. Here's what I would do if I was in your scenario. I'm not saying you should do this, but given the statistics, if I had that amount of money coming in, if I had $350,000 in savings and I was getting a 5.5% yield, that's incredible, by the way. As long as my money's protected in that account, I'm happy about that. You own your own home, which is fabulous. You got some net worth there. I don't see what your trouble is, man. You're making $80,000 a year. How expensive is your lifestyle? Well, okay, so let's get to the root of the problem, Jump Far. Why do you spend a lot of money? Like, what are you spending? Only invested in real estate. Okay. But here's the problem, Jump Far. I want to know, why are you spending so much money? Let's get to the psychological root of the problem, right? I liked, Caleb Hammer. One thing I hate about his show is I feel like he doesn't really get to the root, to the meat of the problem. I feel like he doesn't get to the root part of the problem. Is a lot of the problem is these millennials just have shitty spending habits, right? People in my age group, I don't know what age. Well, you said you're 45 actually, so you're rough. You're around my age actually. So I would say, brother, Jump Far, let's get to the root cause of why you spend so much money. What are you spending a lot of money on? First off, do you spend a lot of money on things that you would consider frivolous stuff? Okay, spend a lot of money on supporting my family. Okay, that's fair. What? Okay, does your family have shitty spending habits, and can you try to help fix them? So you're spending a lot on your family. Do you spend a lot on yourself? Okay, so like if you were to ratio this out, how much do you spend on yourself versus how much do you spend on your family? Like how much money are you spending on your family? I want to get to the root. I want to get to the root cause of your spending problem. Because if your family can stop being so expensive, if you could teach them to be cheap, or if you could teach them if they want more out of life, they got to do more, right? I think it's good to teach them that lesson early. And who knows, maybe you could turn your children into investors. I think turning your kids into investors at a young age is going to help them way more than you realize, right? Turning them into responsible, diversified investors at that. I think that would be really cool. That's what I think would be cool. Now, what are you spending your money on, though? Like, now I know you're spending it on your family, but can you get a little more specific? Like, are you spending it on, like, a ton of money on, sending them to private school when they could be going to a public school, for example? I think public school is worthless, by the way. You want to teach your kids to be independent thinkers and independent learners. But I do think public school, while it sucks, it is free and affordable. So if you're sending your kids to private school and that's eating a lot out of your bank account, you might want to either consider homeschooling them, or, because homeschooling isn't a bad option, either homeschooling them or sending them to a public school, one or the other. Why are you paying? Okay, so hold on. Why are you paying your sister's mortgage? I know you're trying to help your sister, but why are you $40K a year? Okay, you pay your nephew's tuition. Yeah, okay, I understand. So you're paying your nephew's tuition. That's good that you're looking out for your nephew. I love that. That's incredible. Okay, so you're paying your sister's mortgage. Do you live at your sister's place? Like, if you're living at your sister's place and you're helping her pay the mortgage, okay, that makes sense because she's letting you live there. Is she letting you live there, or do you live in your own house, or do you live on her property? Like, I'm trying to gauge how this works. I'm trying to gauge how this relationship works, bud. We got to gauge this. By the way, if you guys want to become a channel member, channel members do get channel members and super chatters get priority. Jump Far says she is working hard and I love her. But are you living there? Like, I'm thinking it's, yeah, you live in your own home, which is fantastic, by the way. But if you already own your own home, have you considered just letting your sister and her kid just live at the home? And your nephew, I should say. Sorry, it's your nephew. My bad. But have you considered letting your sister and your nephew live at your place or live on the property? Because I know but $40,000 a year to pay that mortgage. I know that she works hard, but why isn't she paying her own mortgage? And why the hell is she paying $40,000 a year on that thing? She's in England. Okay, so Jump Far says she's in England, and you're based out of New Zealand currently. Okay. So, interesting. Very interesting. And I'm really trying to understand this dichotomy here. Live in another country. All right. So you're not even in the U.S. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. Standing on Kindness is asking, how do you invest? I mean, I diversify my portfolio to no end. I just want to say that. I'm a hyper diversified investor, and I look for things like the VT, the Vanguard Total World Index. I love swing trading that one. I'm a big swing trader. At the end of the day, it's definitely up my alley. Give me a few seconds. So here's the thing, man. I think it's great that you're wanting to help your family. But at the same time, you have to look out for yourself, too. That does matter. And if you feel like your sister's bullying you into paying this, for instance, I love my bro, but if I was paying his mortgage, I would tell him to just move out of his place and live with me. That's what I would do. And here's the reason I would do that. And now this is tough because you guys are in separate countries. If you guys were in the same country, I think this would be a lot easier of a solution. I don't know how difficult it is to move from one country to another. I don't know all the laws. I don't know how difficult that is, actually. So that's a pain in the butt right there. I don't know about that one, man. Standing on kindness too says, how do you get educated without being taken? I don't know. I have zero clue. Anthony Nelson says, sat here for a minute, bro is just breathing in the mic. I should actually just breathe into the mic. I think that'd be more entertaining than half the shit I gotta say. Here we go. I think I found the ultimate pinned comment. So I'm going to test a pinned comment on you guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to use you guys as guinea pigs a little bit. So let's take a look here. I'm not pulling the wang out, dude. It's not what I do. That's not what this channel's about. 'Cause all our lives in stereo. 'Cause we're all living a reality show. Whoa. Oh, and I'm trying not to notice, and I'm losing all my focus in my life. In my life. Bam, 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 bam. Well, I'm trying not to notice, and I'm losing all my focus in my life. In my life. Bow, wow, wow. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Down, 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 down. So Anthony wants to know, would like to know what your stance is on entertaining stream content. I love trying to make entertaining stream content. I'm not always successful. Don't get me wrong. I'm not always successful on that mark. I try to be. But so Standing on Kindness is wondering, how did I start learning how to invest? Surprisingly, it just kind of happened. It basically started with me not knowing how to invest, but investing anyway. I experimented a little bit. I got into, my problem was I got into penny stocks early. I didn't lose a lot of money because I only dipped my toes in the water. But I started learning real fast as I started investing small amounts of money what to do afterwards. So then my goal was, okay, well, how do I get more diversified? Because the more books I read, I noticed a lot of them encourage diversification for a bit of a safety net. So I was like, okay, I like that. That doesn't sound exactly unreasonable. Yeah. Gaming moments. That is a crazy thought, man. I like it. Cause we're all living a reality show. And everyone is always acting their role. And all our lives in stereo. Cause we're all living a reality show. And I'm trying not to notice, and I'm losing all my focus in my life. Okay, that's super cool. All right, there we go. So I was able to double check everything. That's neat. Everything looks good there. Cause we're all living a reality show. And everyone is always acting their role. Yeah, the whole government shutdown thing has been so wild to me. Just people, I do feel bad for people who are going to be like legitimately out of their SNAP benefits, though, if this continues. Because, look, they got to figure something out. They got to get the government, figure out the spending bill, man. Jesus Christ. What would I put 2K on in 2026 is the fan mail. So the fan chat. So that's a good question, brother. Honestly, I do like the safety of diversification. So if I had any choice, I would actually swing trade the Vanguard Total World Index. So here's what I would do. I would put probably $10,000. If you gave me $20,000, like if I had $20,000 right now, this instant, just in cash, I would put probably, I'd put $10,000. I put $10,000 worth of that money put 10,000 into the Vanguard Total World Index. So that way I had massive diversification on one hand. And on the other hand, I would probably put 5K just in case on, I put $5,000 on, what do you call it? It's the BNDW. It's basically I think that's the one. It's the world bond market. So basically you're exposed to not only the entire U.S. bond market, but as much of the international bond market as humanly possible. So that way I'm getting at least a guaranteed yield, and bonds are fairly safe. I'm not saying they're the safest instrument, but honestly, I would prefer, I feel much safer in a bond ETF that's ran by Vanguard than I do anything else. Because bonds are pretty much like, I wouldn't say they're the safest thing in the world, but I definitely like having exposure to the bond market. So the reason the 5K would be there would be just to get yield, just to get a guaranteed yield out of the deal while having a bit of a safety net. And then I'd have the other 5K just sitting in as loose cash in the brokerage account. So let's say the Vanguard Total World Index took a dip. And since I'd be swing trading the VT in that scenario, I would then use that 5K in loose cash to then buy the dip. Because if I'm going to buy the dip on anything, it better be a highly diversified ETF, straight up. So cool. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that's a good idea to use 20K that way? Because I think you can use 20K to make an okay amount of money on the side. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you're going to be a rich boy doing that. I mean, but it makes for good little supplemental income if you want to, if you're on the Dollar Tree diet like I am. I mean, that's perfect. At least in my mind, that's perfect. Now, just remember, not financial advice, all right? None of that's financial advice. That's what I would do. But that's not what you should do. You should talk to a financial advisor, see if that's even a good idea. I mean, at least you're diversified in that scenario, right? I will say this, at least you're diversified with the Vanguard Total World Index. But if I had 20K, if I made 20K all of a sudden, I would absolutely do what I can to be as diversified across the equities market and the bond market as quickly as possible. I'm a big believer in diversification. That's just my belief. It's how I operate, man. Talk to a financial advisor, though, man. See if they would agree with you. They might just recommend that you do long-term holdings, because swing trading is not for everybody, right? And I'm not even recommending anybody do swing trading. I'm just letting you guys know what I do as a person. That's just my belief. That's just what I do. And I do hope people understand that. Cause we're all living a reality show. Whoa. And everyone is always acting their role. Oh, yeah. Cause we're all living a reality show. Whoa. And everyone. Oh, so it's so the song that I've been singing, the reality show song, it's an older song by a band called Breaking Point. So if you get bored, look up a Breaking Point reality show. They're a classic band. But yeah, they're incredible. They also do the song "The Fear I See When I Look in Your Eyes." The Chris Ben, no, it wasn't Chris Benoit. Rob Van Dam theme song. But it's one of a kind. Yeah. The fear I see when I look in your eyes makes you believe I'm one of a kind. The fear I leave in the back of your mind makes you believe I'm one of a kind. Yeah, dude. Cause we're all living a reality show, whoa. And everyone is always acting their role. And all our lives in stereo, whoa. Cause we're all living a reality show. And I'm trying not to notice, and I'm losing all my focus in my life. What's up, my brony brothers? Brandon of Palm Beach, I can see you. Hello. I see you, and I feel you. Crawling underneath my skin, like the hunger, like the burning. To find the place I've never been. Now I'm broken and I'm fading. Thank you, Standing on Kindness. I appreciate the sub. So Brad, he was, Brad thinks I'm cute. Brad thinks I'm the man. And Brad was on here. It wasn't on this stream, but I saw him leave a comment. Brandon of Palm Beach, dude. Good to meet you from South Florida. Hey, can you subscribe to the channel? Can I get a subscription out of you? I'll make a man out of you. Can you subscribe, Brandon of Palm Beach? Coast of Oregon is where Daddy is located. Oh, yeah, Zaddy. They call me Zaddy. What up? Make sure you guys subscribe to Brandon of Palm Beach. Hopefully you guys subscribe to him. You know, I'm not forcing anybody, obviously, but I will say if the show is if this show is for you, feel free to subscribe. We always like to encourage you to subscribe, but you know, we never want to force it. We never want to force the issue. We like to encourage though. So hit the subscribe button, everybody. Everybody hit it. Everybody hit it. Everybody hit it now. Hi, Song Jones. What's going on? You know, we do our thing on this show, man. We do our thing. And everyone is always acting their role. Give me 1 second, you guys. I got to complete a task real quick, but if anybody wants to send super chats and stuff, you know. Give me 1 second, folks. Give me a few more seconds, everybody. Just doing a couple Gaza things, as the kids say on this channel. Everybody calls me Gaza. Why does everybody call me Gaza, by the way? Can everybody give me an explanation as to why everybody calls me Gaza? They're like, Michael Garza, what up, dude? Why does everybody call me Gaza? Huh? You guys gonna give me an explanation on that, huh? I wanna know. 'Cause I wanna know what turned you on. And I wanna know. And I wanna know what makes you cry. Why am I gay? Not our liars in stereo. Who's this person? What the hell? What am I looking at, man?
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud. Hey, thank you for the subscription. Brandon of Palm Beach. Thank you, my brony brother. Yeah, finance is great, man. I love talking about investing primarily. Hey, Dog Eat Dog, dude. Dog Eat Dog says member for 1 month, dude. We got my boy, dude. Become a channel member, by the way. Yeah, dude. Dog Eat Dog is everybody's friend on this channel. We love our boy Dog Eat Dog, man.
Laugh out loud.
Rim job is for all.
Hey, thank you, my brony brother. Oh my God, Dog Eat Dog says rim jobbies for all. Oh, the goat, dude. Dog Eat Dog is the goat. By the way, thank you, brother. I appreciate the super chat. Make sure you guys Make sure you guys subscribe to Dog Eat Dog. By the way, this man deserves all the attention in the world, as any good dog wants. Every good dog wants attention, right? Yeah. So we gotta give this boy some attention, man. Dude, why don't Dog Eat Dog? Why don't you do any videos, bro? Is it because you don't know how to use a camera? Bam, 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 bam. But yeah, I think so. Dog eat dog. Is it because you're a dog that you do? I mean, obviously you're a dog. You wouldn't know how to work a cell phone camera or even a desktop computer. I'm assuming that's exactly the situation that we're looking at. By the way, here is the $5 super chat that our home dog, we call him the official, dude, Dog Eat Dog is the official G-Dog of this channel. Here's what Dog Eat Dog had to say.
Laugh out loud.
Rim job is for all.
So, I mean, look, he's looking out for us. You know what? I don't think anybody heard that as well as they should have, so let's put that up one more time. Let's listen to that one more time. I want everybody
Laugh
to hear
out
it.
loud.
Rim job is for all.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris Hansen, for the laugh out loud, by the way. I also got to give that a like. I didn't reply to it in time, so I want to apologize about that, Dog Eat Dog, but I gave it a love though, man. Hey, everybody! So everybody's drinking right now. Zach's doing rum and eggnog, and then Brandon over here's doing just hammering himself all day. You don't get what you got to do. What you got to do, my man. I'm not going to tell you what you should do, but you guys, you're all adults. You guys can figure out what you need to do. Yeah, I can see your comments, G-Dog. Hell yeah. Uh-oh, the chat's not working. Hold on, I got to exit out of... So sometimes Stream Ninja, while it works for the most part, sometimes Stream Ninja can be a real pain in the rump. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Nah, I don't feel like drinking at the moment, man, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the offer, everybody. Hell yeah, dude. Brandon, get it. Everybody, subscribe to Brandon in Palm Beach. Hell yeah, what a stud, dude. You guys want? I'm gonna do some eating ASMR. Oh yeah. Feels so good. It is windy AF right now, so I would not be surprised if the power went out. It is raining like crazy right now, man. It's almost to thunder. I think it could get to thunderstorm territory where I'm at, but I don't think we're there just yet. I'm not retiring, dude. I ain't retiring. Hell no. I ain't gonna retire from this channel, man. Look at that. I like to kiss my food a lot of the time before I eat it, so I just feel like I'm missing out. That's really good, dude. So I will answer this question because I do like helping fellow content creators. Okay, so Brandon of Palm Beach is asking, how do you top the live with a pinned comment? So I use Streamlabs to show the comments on the screen. I use a combination of Stream Chat Ninja, and I use Streamlabs. So that allows me to put the user comments on here. But if you're wondering more on the pinned chat side of things, all you have to do is put a chat. You have to chat the comment first in the live chat, then you select it and then pin it overall. And that helps people realize that they need to subscribe to the channel and that super chats and gifts are read first, that sort of thing. Give me a moment, though. Hey, no problem, man. I hope my explanation helps. Just remember, social, I think it's Social Stream Ninja. It's what I use. I always forget what the name of it is, to be honest. Hold on. Yeah. So I use Social Stream Ninja to highlight things. Yeah. So look up, if you get bored, Brandon of Palm Beach, go on YouTube, look up Social Stream Ninja, how to. And there's plenty of really cool videos that show you how to implement Social Stream Ninja into Streamlabs or even OBS, Streamlabs OBS or even regular OBS. I prefer to do the show using my desktop computer, for example, so I'm always using Streamlab OBS. So I am going to make myself a sandwich for lunch real quick. One moment. Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. So I made myself a couple sandos real quick. So I got mustard on this sandwich. Normally, I have this routine where I put mustard on my body. And so instead of putting mustard on my body, I decided to put mustard on a sandwich. It's a good sandwich, by the way. Simple turkey, cheese, sando. I'm actually not that fat. I'm only like 250 pounds. So I'm 6'1", about 250. I'm a big boy though. So. I mean, I'm about 6'2", to be honest, but I'm definitely a little overweight, without a doubt. Oh yeah, I'm about 6'2", you guys. Let's see. I'm 6'2", 250. I'm a big boy, powerhouse, man. Yep. So it's what I eat, man. You never heard anybody call a sandwich a sando? A sando. That's what I call them, sandos, man. I'm having a sando. I'm surprised you never heard that, man. It's, I mean, I would assume it's common, but then again, I kind of live in my own bubble sometimes. So I don't really know what anybody says, for the most part. I do want to give a shout out to Dog Eat Dog because he wanted to do the rim jobbies for all. I appreciate that, my brony brother. It's very kind. I know everybody's expecting me to smear stuff on my face, to put the stuff on my face, but not today. Not today. Not today. Not today. I don't know what you're expecting of me. But where's the crap stick this time, man? People want the crap stick. Zach is asking, where's the crap stick this time, Geza? And to that I say, it's somewhere. It is somewhere. I don't really know why everybody calls me Geza. Geza. Everybody calls me Geza. Why does everybody call me Geza? Okay, I gotta go into Nightbot. You guys ever heard of Nightbot? So I use Nightbot to rotate a few messages. It's one of the things I like to do with Nightbot. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little automated bot. I don't use it for moderation or anything, but I use it to spit out some really cool stuff. You want to be a big shot something? Do you want to be a big shot? Are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Don't be a chicken boy, stop acting like a biatch. I'm going to peace out if I don't get the payoff. Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. Are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Don't be a chicken boy, stop acting like a biatch. I'ma peace out if you don't give me the payoff. Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. See your peacock, cock, cock, your peacock, cock. Your peacock, cock, cock, your peacock. Give me a moment, folks. I want to know. I gotta know something real quick. Word on the street, you got something to show me. What are gifts? Yeah, dude. They call me Zaddy. Now you're brave enough to let me see your peacock cock. Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. And are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Don't be a chicken, but stop acting like a bitch. I'm a piece out if I don't get the payoff. Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. And are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Don't be a chicken, but stop acting like a bitch. I'm a piece out if you don't get me the payoff. Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. And are you brave enough to let me see your peacock? Yeah. Tell me, how am I supposed to live without you? I want to see your peacock cock. Your peacock cock. Word on the street, you got something to show me. Magical, mystical, mystery. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're almost, by the way, we're at 6,094 subscribers. We're almost to 6,100, and I want to thank everybody. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right now so that way we could get to the 6,100 marker. We're really trying our best. More subscribers we get, the more this channel gets pushed out to everything. He says it's like licking. You can't see what he's doing. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, though. We're almost to 6,100 subscribers. The more subscribers we get, the more it does help the channel out big time. So I really do appreciate anything you guys could do to help out. We're really trying our best. I really want to get the Alex Jones voice going on. And, everybody doesn't understand where I'm coming from. We're one of those types of channels that... we like to talk about politics and the government shutdown is turning me a little more flamboyant than I expected. I didn't expect to be this flamboyant after the government shutdown. It was enacted, and thank you, Samantha. I appreciate that. I want to thank you. Everybody's just trying to really take down the channel. Not really. Everybody loves the channel, I think. Thank you for... Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button right there. The more subscribers we get, the better. My name is Michael Garza, and the government shutdown has turned me more flamboyant. I really think I like Joe Biden now. Before I liked Trump, but now I'm full on... I'm Biden sexual. I would love to see Biden run in 2028 now. I would love to see a Joe Biden resurgence, I think. Make America worse again, But yeah, no, we got to see Joe Biden back. I think Joe Biden needs to make a comeback. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if you guys are feeling what I'm putting down, but... Come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. Now you're brave enough to let me see you be gang. Be a chick, must be acting like a bitch. I'm gonna get peace out if I don't get the bet. Oh, come on, baby, let me see what you're hiding underneath. I sing a little too much on this channel, I know. It's one of the common complaints I get is, Mikey G, why do you sing so much and why are you so gay? Is mainly the question that I get every time. And in fact, all the time. People are wondering about my sexuality. People are wondering, dude, why are you so into men and stuff? And I'm like, no, I'm not into men. Men are into me. All right, I'm not into men. Men are into me. All right, men are into me. I'm not into men. Right. Can we just give a big shout out to our boy Dog Eat Dog? He is the home dog of this channel. He is the GOAT, man. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. The more people we have subscribing, the better. We need more simp subscribers, man. So, Dog Eat Dog, come on, brother. What the hell? I gotta take a quick pee though, real quick. Oh yeah, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate the acknowledgement. Hey, you guys, more super chats and more songs. This one, super chats or super gifts. One or the other. Super chats or gifts do help me help the channel grow. Subscriberships help if you guys tap the subscribe button. But yeah, I love singing. I could do a little bit of Take That. It's like, well, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side, we can rule the world. All the stars are coming out tonight. We're lighting up the sky tonight. For you, all the stars are coming out tonight. They're lighting up the sky tonight. For you, oh. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. If you stay with me, girl, we can rule the world. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky. If you stay by my side. Let's take that, you guys. Take that. Whatever I said, whatever I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Want you back. Want you back. Want you back for good. Dog eat dog, you ain't getting no condiments, bro. You ain't getting those condiments. Now, I am going to be doing most likely a food stream tonight. It's most likely what's going to happen. You know, I don't really know a lot of Slayer. I don't know a lot of Slayer songs, to be honest. Yeah, that's kind of on me. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More subscribers, the better. We're really trying to expand the show's reach. So if you guys we're trying to get to 7,000 this. Preferably by the end of the month, we're trying to get at least to 7,000 subscribers, but we're almost to 6,100. So the more subscribers we get, the better. So I encourage you guys to tap and fap, not fap, but tap the subscribe button, and then we'll be on the right path, man. I just want to thank you, my brony brothers. So many brony brothers out there, man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. It's funny because I don't really know many Slayer songs, you know, which is kind of wild. You'd think I would because of how much Nickelback I sing. I'm actually not a fan of Eric Clapton. I'm just not. I tried. Dog Eat Dog is wondering if I could sing us a song from the Scientology church. Yeah, I guess we could. Well, I just heard about Xenu today. Seems my life is pretty gay. I close my eyes, think about Tom Cruise, then tears of joy stream down my shaft. I love L. Ron Hubbard. He is so sexy. He's a better science fiction author than Gene Roddenberry, although Gene only wrote for the frickin' shows. But I know I love L. Ron Hubbard instead. Dianetics. I love Dianetics. That was all parody, by the way. Don't take me seriously. I'll show you every page. Oh, yeah. Of Dianetics. Of Dianetics. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Xenu's gonna take everything. Oh, yeah. Tom Cruise will save us. He'll save us. Thank you, Tom Cruise. Dude, I love Scientology, bro. Like, I look at, I'm not a follower of Scientology, but I respect the grift, okay? I'm not saying it's a grift, but that's my opinion. It's you know, I'm not a big fan of most religions. Actually, pretty much all of them. Look, if it keeps people from killing each other, I'm fine with religion. To be honest, if it keeps people from killing each other, totally fine with religion. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Dog eat dog, dude. Dog eat dog is the man. Can we just say that right now? I didn't bring it with me today, my brony brother. Well, I do have my mustard in the fridge, and usually I have a mustard routine that I like to follow. It's a mustard measurement. I don't recommend it for everybody, but yeah, I like mustard, dude. Maybe a little too much, but I love mustard, and that's just my life. Is it weird that I love mustard the way that I do? I usually work on my own portfolio. I'm usually constructing it and kind of tweaking it a little bit here and there. Whoa, doggy dog. Why are you saying that, bro? I'm not boofing. I am not boofing. All right, stop. You guys got to stop saying I'm boofing stuff. This is a common theme in the chat that I've noticed. The chat loves to say that I'm boofing things. I am not a boofer, okay? I don't boof. All right? But I do this. I'm not boofing, dude. I'm not a boofer. I know everybody on the chat likes to say I'm boofing, but I ain't boofing, dude. I ain't a boofer, right? It's just not how I roll. All right? I ain't a boofer. I don't boof. You guys stop saying it, all right? I'm done with the boofing talk, okay? Stop with the boofing. We don't do that. Not a part of this show, all right? Let's talk about something else. Let's not talk about the things that I put in my rear end, all right? We don't talk about that. It's not cool. Not cool, bro. Not cool. Dude, no, don't do that with your tip, dude. Don't. I appreciate you. I appreciate the like, but at what cost is that like? If I know that like is tainted, if you're tapping the screen with your tip, it sullies the show. It dirties the integrity of the show. All right, the integrity of the show is lost. Dog Eat Dog says, got the boof look in your eyes, and those are the windows to your souls. Look, I look like the kind of guy that likes to shove things up my you-know-what. But it doesn't mean I do it. It doesn't mean I do it. I can agree with that. This show is about integrity. Absolutely. This show is 100% about integrity. I wouldn't say it's about consistency, though. I don't believe in consistency. I do believe in consistency in one aspect of life. I believe that you should be consistently taking actions that work towards a goal. And you should be trying, obviously you have your own ethics and stuff, everybody does. The goal is, render aid and assistance to people who need it. If you see somebody struggling, try to help people struggling. That's a big deal. But I do believe in a lack of consistency in the way that I do things. For instance, I'm always looking for ways to change the nature of this show. Always. Because there's probably a better way that I could do this show. There might even be a better way that I could put mustard on my face, shockingly. I love mustard. Some say that I love mustard a little in an unhealthy way, that I have an unhealthy relationship with food. And to some degree, I can agree with that. The consistency, by the way, I guess you could say I am consistently inconsistent, right? I'm consistently not consistent because in the way that I do this show, my show is like gambling. You don't know if you're going to win money. You don't know if you're going to win money or you're going to lose money, right? So my show is like gambling in that instance. You don't know if you're going to laugh, cry, walk away in anger. You don't know what you're going to get out of the show because you don't know what you're going to get out of me. I'm a wild card, baby. It's just like when I'm playing Magic the Gathering. I'm a wild card. You don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm just out there swinging my chain, dude. I'm out there swinging my chain, all right? This is a show. This is the greatest show on vertical live YouTube. I'm gonna make that declaration now. This is the greatest show. This is my declaration, my affirmations. I'm making affirmation. This is the greatest show on YouTube vertical lives. It is. It is the best show. It is the greatest show, the best show on vertical lives. Everybody knows it. Everybody's in denial. Everybody knows that I'm the greatest. Everybody says that I boof. I don't boof. Dog Eat Dog said I was boofing. I'm not boofing. I ain't boofing. Dog Eat Dog is goofing. Dog Eat Dog, stop saying I'm boofing everywhere, okay? I ain't a boofer, all right? I don't boof. Heads you win, tails I lose. Win. Now, I want to say this. I'm not going to treat all commenters and comments the same. I'm very biased. If there's one thing I'm proud of, I am proud of my biases. I think, look, you can't, look, sometimes you got to make determinations in life. You have to make some sort of certain biases. Everybody's got biases. I'm brave enough to admit I have biases. Absolutely. They don't get in my way as much as people think, though. People think of biases get in the way. I disagree with that. I just want to tell you guys this right now. I am biased, but not fully. Joe Bias, hell yeah. For example, I'm starting to feel like there's no hope in America. There's a part of me that believes that, but part of me doesn't. And it's not because of Trump. I believe that, honestly, we're just disconnected as a society in general. I think Trump is a symptom of the problem. Trump is not the cause of the problem. Trump is the symptom. The reason that Trump got elected is because people, honestly, first off, can't stand being told what to do by the government. So they're like, oh, so there's going to be a guy who's going to dismantle the federal government? I don't see any problem with that. That's what a lot of people were thinking, And here's the thing. Do I want Joe Biden back? No. But do I feel like no matter what, America, whether we have Trump or whether we have Biden, do I think America's on a pretty downward path? I'm starting to feel that way. I remain hopeful, and I believe that we should all try our best to not assume that the American, that America's dead. I think America rocks. I think America's sexy, man. What do you think of the new ballroom, says Dog Eat Dog. And then Mr. Eagle says Purple People Eater. Let's see. I think the new ballroom, I think it's kind of cool, man. He's demolishing the East Wing or something like that to make the ballroom. Okay. Is it within his grounds to do so? I'm excited. I guess that'd be kind of cool to have a ballroom in the White House. I don't know what that really signifies at the end of the day, but, you know, do other countries have ballrooms in their main government, federal government areas? I don't know. I really don't know. You guys might know a little bit more than I do. Who knows? But yeah, I'll vote. You know, honestly, if I will admit, let's say Trump could run in 2028. People have asked me, Mike, would you actually vote for Trump in 2028? And I would ask, it depends on what the alternative is. If we get Trump and Vance for 2028, if Trump dies if Trump were to die for some reason, God forbid, but let's say Trump were to die in office, let's say he was able to do a third term, let's say they abolish, what was it, the 22nd Amendment, I think it was. If they somehow find a way to abolish that amendment, and then Trump is able to run, ooh, I don't know. I mean, I would vote for him straight up because one, you'd have at least J.D. Vance as the vice president, and I want Vance, dude. I want Vance in my pants, dude. But honestly, I really want Vance 2028. That's what I want. I want J.D. Vance 2028. Do I want Trump to run again in 2028? Actually, no. My desire would be, dude, just retire. You're the man. We love you. Make sure you stay in contact with J.D. Vance, so that way you and Vance can still coordinate stuff. But yeah, Vance 2028, baby. Give me some Vance. I would rather have Vance in my pants than walls on my balls, you know? I'd rather... Yeah, look, whether somebody's religious or not is not the defining factor on why I actually vote for them. People have, honestly, to be honest, I would trust Vance more than an anarchist Democrat. I'll say that. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fans of that either. I think that's a little bit extreme. But I mean, it depends on how people interpret what he says. So people by the way, you can't take everything somebody says as matter of fact. We have a thing called what's called video, all right? So even if they quote it in a news article, watch the original clip and make sure that you watch it in context. Maybe some people would blame God for their actions if they were being sarcastic. Could you imagine, let's just put this out there. Could you imagine taking every single thing I say on this show at face value just by the words that I say? Nobody ever considers tonality. Tonality is just as important as the words being said. And we live in a day and age where you can watch the original clip to see if what he said was sarcastic or not. You can just tell. And I think that the thing is, people take everything Trump and Vance say at face value. And that's annoying. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things to be sarcastic about in the world right now. There's a lot of, and humor is a good thing. I really do think I would rather live in a society where we can laugh at how the world is rather than constantly not laugh, I don't know. I mean, do you watch, Eagle, I know that you're more in tune with the news than I am, but do you actually watch the clips of the things these people say? Like Vance, do you say or do you just read an article where they quote, oh, Trump said this or Vance said that? Do you actually watch the original clip in context? Because if you're not, we all know that the mainstream media hates Donald Trump because Donald Trump hates the mainstream media. So they're at war with each other. They're always looking for ways to get back at each other. It sucks. But yeah, I think it's the biggest thing. I think that you can't take every single quote. Okay, you read the full interview. Okay, did you listen to the interview though? You can read an interview, but honestly, tonality makes more sense. You may read faster than you watch, but honestly, if you're reading there's a difference between reading an interview and watching one. Because watching an interview, you can get the full tonality and actually understand what they're trying to say. We live in an age where honestly, you could watch the video on 2x speed. You may be able to read faster than you watch, but you could still watch a YouTube video at 2x speed and still get done with it. So I don't know. I hate the fact that people read interviews. rather than watch the interviews but yeah, so the thing is, and I listen to videos at 2x speed all the time, but yeah, I don't know. I just think that even if it was public, even if that's what he believed, like let's say that's what he believed, I think Vance for the most part is a very competent leader and a competent politician. I'm not a fan of lifelong politicians, and I think he's been in office in the public space for a while. I don't know, but either way, like if I have to, yeah, but a lot of these presidents, like Biden was Catholic. A lot of these presidents are pretty religious. I'm not going to lie, though. I would rather have a religious guy in office than an anarchist, because anarchists don't give a shit about anything, it seems. And I'm not even a religious guy. I'm not necessarily an anarchist or an atheist or anything. I'm pretty agnostic. I've always wrestled with the idea of, are we created by chaotic design? Obviously we just emerged out of chaos. Or were we created by an intelligent being? Who the hell knows? So I've always considered myself relatively agnostic, but it doesn't mean, just because somebody's religious, doesn't mean that they're not qualified. Okay, so what would ruin America quicker? Atheists, which honestly I don't think atheists really care about anything sometimes. It just seems like most atheists are pretty much anarchists these days. I mean, ideally, I would choose agnostic, but science, Eagle, I love you, but that might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say. Science knows? Okay, science is a way of discovery. First off, science needs to be questioned through and through and through. That science doesn't know. Science is a method to get to knowledge, right? Yeah. And some people are atheists, and I'm not saying that, for the most part, most atheists that I see out there are usually anarchists, and usually they just want to destroy everything. And not saying usually, well, I can't, that's a little unfair. I would say, I'm not a fan of religion. I just am not. I don't like groups, but I'm honestly going to say this. Just because somebody is religious doesn't mean that they're disqualified. Also, same goes for atheists. I believe if you're an atheist or an agnostic or whatever you are, you're not necessarily disqualified, but from being president or being in Senate or anything, what I'm trying to get at is, I think I would trust a Christian more than I would trust an atheist. That's all I'm saying. Even though, by the way, I might side with the atheist on a few points, believe it or not, more than when it comes to religious stuff. The irony is being an atheist has become a religion in itself for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Some people are so in a weird way, that becomes a theology in itself. Believing that God doesn't exist and making a big deal out of it is a theology in itself, in a lot of ways. It could be argued that, which is kind of crazy. Let's see. No, but you can prove trends present in the real system. Yeah. Nathan says word choice is important regardless of tone. If you're in a position of power, a boss joking about firing you carries more weight than a coworker. The leader of America's word. Yeah, but it just depends on what he's talking about too. For instance, honestly, I do think that Trump makes a lot of sarcastic quips. He's not always one of those types of guys that does he think about everything he says? No. But tonality still matters. The context, tone actually adds a lot. So if I say Nathan and Billy, right? Nathan and Eagle. And I love you guys dearly, but if I said, I love you versus I love you guys, or I love you guys, or I love you guys, there's obviously a difference. Tone does add something to the context of the statement, right? So if somebody's saying, I blame God for my actions, or it's I blame God for my actions. It's God's fault, right? You could tell if it's a serious tone or if it's a sarcastic quip in an interview, God, I don't know. God did it. I don't know. That sort of thing. The difference is you're not my body. Yeah, exactly. That would be the difference, yes. But here's the thing. If we're in any interview situation, I do believe that things like sarcasm need to be taken into account. You can't just... Millions of idiots don't follow. Yeah. Oh, eventually millions of idiots will follow me, though. That's what I'm trying. That's the goal. I want millions of idiots to follow me. And just like Donald Trump, I love the uneducated. But no, I don't really believe there's here's the thing, man. I think that the whole educated versus uneducated thing, I think if people have the ability to... It's critical thinkers versus non-critical thinkers. If you're just going to be in a group with a pitchfork and you want to just yell at everything and be mad about everything, you're not a critical thinker in my mind. You're just somebody who gets mad at things. That's an example. If you're somebody who actually does look at every single situation with their own mind, try with their own voice and their own experience and with whatever knowledge they have in general, and try to actually come to a determination about something, that matters. And look, the one thing I can say is I've watched a few Donald Trump interviews before he was president. And I actually kind of didn't want him to become president, not because I actually thought he would be a bad one. I knew enough about Donald Trump where I wanted to see him just, keep doing his real estate shit and all that. And, mega is the reason. Look, I will admit there's a lot of Jesus freaks in the MAGA movement, without a doubt. But there's also, on the other hand, in the far left movement, there's a lot of anarchists and people who just complain for complaint's sake. You see it all the time. But let's see here. Mr. Nate Dogg says there's a time and place. If it's an SNL skit, then joke away. If it's in an interview with the press, then it's not appropriate. I don't know. I actually think that, honestly, the press in America has become kind of a joke, and I think it's okay. I think it's perfectly reasonable to be sarcastic with the press, because the press has become... I'm by the way, I'm pretty center. I may even lean a little pretty right for the most part, but I want to say this. I'm not even a big fan of Fox News. I think Fox News glazes Trump a little too much, and I think MSNBC is pretty terrible to Trump. They'll look for any little kink in anything he says. If they are the far left... Yeah, here's the thing, though. Anybody on the far left... have you noticed a pattern, though? I mean, it's called pattern recognition. With pattern recognition, you can usually determine if somebody's an anarchist, they tend to be far left. Like, you can make determinations based on patterns. Like, that's a pattern I notice. Most people who are anarchists and atheists tend to be far left. Irony is, I think agnostics also kind of tend to be far left too. Even though I'm a bit of an exception. I'm agnostic, but I don't know. I just think that the far left is ridiculous. I think it's become here's the thing, man. Trump is not the cause. Sorry. Trump is the symptom, not the cause. People want to blame Trump for everything, but honestly, in all actuality, the reason people voted for Trump, myself included, is we were tired of being told what to do by the federal government. We were tired of being told what to do by people screaming all the time. And basically, I call it the loud minority, where it's like, the people who go on Twitter, the people who go on like the Blue Sky or whatever. I hate Twitter. I know Donald Trump loves Twitter, but I hate it. I can't stand it. I think I get pissed off when I see Trump on Twitter. I think Twitter just kills your mind. I think so. I think most social media kills your mind. That's why I choose to read books and understand concepts. I don't really care about the news. I think the news actually kills people's minds more than anything, because you're reading about current events all day, and it's just like, that just sucks. I have ChatGPT figure out what current events are. I just feel like it kills my mind. I usually just read books on concepts and stuff like that, and I try to understand, different things. I try to learn new things, learn new skills, at least to the best of my ability.
I stay within my wheelhouse, but I still like to venture out of my wheelhouse, though, when it comes to subject matters and things like that. Communists or anarchists, but you can call the communists anarchists, but let's see. But those things couldn't be more different. Yeah, well, the irony is, and they are different things, but the people, so here's the thing. The irony is, these communists also, a lot of these communists, by the way, that are a part of Antifa claim to be anarchists, which, yeah, it is a contradiction, but they don't realize how much of a contradiction it is, because most of these people in groups like Antifa don't think for themselves. They let the group think for them. So that's a big deal. That's why I hate groups. That's why I'm not a big fan of religion either. I don't like to go to church because I don't want to think like everybody else. You know, I hate groups. What can I say? But no, I do think that, let's see, and then I think it is, he made so many promises that people believed he was going to follow them. Oh, no, I honestly was pretty sure, by the way, that Donald was not going to follow through with all of his promises. I felt like I was probably getting smoke up my ass most of the time, but I will say this. I didn't care. As long as there wasn't, as long as he was trying to deregulate and trying to get rid of more federal agencies, that's kind of what I was looking for. See, Williams, Eagle says, the only communist you know doesn't think that way. Yeah, you're right. You don't think that way. But if you analyze a lot of the interviews with people who are part of the actual Antifa group, see, Eagle, you're an anti-fascist, but you're not part of Antifa. You're actually not a part of that group. And honestly, you're an anti-fascist, but you're not an Antifa member. That's the difference. And you know what I mean? It's like in Fight Club. You know, you can hear about Project Mayhem, but just because you hear about it and just because you say you want to be a part of it doesn't mean you're a part of it. Yeah, I don't trust media at all. Why would I? Mainstream media, I don't even trust local media at this point, and here's the reason for that. All they care about is ratings and not really good information. I mean, if you're part of the group officially, then maybe he would. But here's the thing. You can be anti-fascist. You don't have to call yourself Antifa. You don't have to say that you're a part of the Antifa group. I mean, if there's, you know, it's whatever. Truth be told, no, you having, look, here's the thing, the fact that everybody thinks Donald Trump is a king actually annoys the shit out of me, because if he was a king, wouldn't he be able to reopen the government right now? The government shutdowns lasted for a while. He still relies on the Senate. So everybody's like, Donald Trump's a king, Donald Trump's a dictator. Dude, we have 3 branches of government that fully prevent that. I hate, people romanticize the executive branch so much, and it sickens me. It sickens me to no end. But it's just like, I don't know. Everybody's like, no kings, no kings. It's like, dude, Trump can't be a king. He can do executive orders and stuff like that without a doubt, but there are limits to even those executive orders. This is why the 3 branches of government exist. I don't even think Trump wants to be a king, if we're going to be honest. I don't think he does. And anytime he says he's wanted to, it's called Trump sarcasm. So people can't think. I hate it when people take everything the man says at face value. It's so annoying. Trump would also call all those nice people down at the boardwalk that you stood with Antifa, even though you know that's not true. I mean, he would probably generalize that they're Antifa. Sure. I mean, I know better. I know that they're just a bunch of old boomers with nothing better to do. Let's see. You were there. You know, it's not a. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say. I would say there's probably a lot of people there that they think they like America, but you know, it's like whatever. And hey, I'm glad they're protesting. I just noticed that there was a lot of boomers there and not a lot of young people. So it's definitely, the No Kings protests were definitely a boomer fest. That's for sure. Let's see. He basically insisted that it happened. Why won't it open? Because he won't let it. Let's see. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I like Trump, but I'm not Trump. I don't know what the dude's thinking. I don't know what Trump's thinking. You guys, here's the thing. People got to stop acting like just because I like Trump that I support every decision. Stop that. And every time somebody's like, oh, but look what Trump did. It's like, yeah, he does crazy shit. I knew this going into it. I knew that it was not going to be a pretty situation. Change is often not pretty. So, several times before the Senate shut down, I mean... Long Defiant, look, I don't like fascism, but I do believe that Antifa, for the most part as a group, is fascist, by the way. So I think that Antifa should try to dismantle themselves because they use a lot of fascist techniques to try to shut people up. And I'm glad I don't live in Eugene or Portland, because I'm sure I would have been shut down a long time ago by Antifa, because that's just how these people are. When people get really too caught up in their own groups and stuff, they start thinking everybody's the enemy who disagrees with them. I think it's crazy. So I'm anti-fascist deep down, but I'm not Antifa. There's a difference. Antifa is a decentralized group who are fascist, who use fascist techniques to try to, implement their anti-fascist thing. But like I said, Antifa needs to dismantle themselves because they themselves are fascist. Not just crazy. So here's the thing, Eagle. Honestly, dude, Trump doesn't go crazy. Everybody who reacts to Donald Trump goes crazy, right? They go crazy because they can't stand that any action Donald Trump takes, it's like the end of the world. People act as if it's the end of the world. I don't agree with that. I think that a lot of people who don't like Donald Trump are usually very hyperbolic. I think there's a form of hyperbole. There is a form of hyperbole that goes on into everything, and everybody's like, dictator. It's like, that's just so fucking annoying. 32 people that he's murdered in the ocean. Well, I mean, if he gave out that order, not a fan of that, System in place. I mean, I don't know. Deal with drug users and those who do. Look, the way I look at it is this, man. The reason I don't get into the world of politics is because I do believe that in the world of politics, I believe it's a net negative to one's mind. The only reason I talk about it is because it's entertaining for the show. It's just for show entertainment, to be honest. I actually don't give a two flying shits. I just want the three branches of government to work. That's what I want. I want the freedom to still do what I do. And I think that I think I'm more likely to have freedom under Trump than I am under a Democrat rule. I just feel like the Democrats are going downhill. They want government to get too big. I don't want big government. I'm not a fan of the big beautiful bill, though. I'm still not a big fan of that. I think Trump made a mistake doing the big beautiful bill. I'm still going to harp on that. Like, everybody thinks that I'm full on with Trump on everything. I'm not. I like the dude. I think he's made some stupid mistakes. But then again, I mean, I hope he may surround himself with a lot of yes men and glazers. I'll admit that. I think he does have a lot of yes men around him. I hope that there's a lot of yes men and yes women. I hope he's got people who question him. I really do. I don't know. Obviously, I don't go into the day to day. But do I think he's acting out of malice? I think, honestly, I do think that Donald Trump does love America, by the way. $2 billion American. Whoa. Why would you buy pesos? Oh, I don't understand why Trump would buy pesos, though. That makes no sense to me. First off, I don't believe you should buy into any currency. I think if Trump was smart, he would have traded that $2 billion for actual gold. See, gold is the real store of value, man. I believe that gold is the real store of value. I never had a negative opinion of Barack Obama, and yet Trump wants to. Whoa. Obama did not have clean hands either. By the way, drone strikes, the several drone strikes that happened under Obama, dude, I'm surprised you don't. Eagle, because talking about government overreach, dude, Barack Obama was the king of government overreach. Like, I do believe that Donald Trump overreaches, but Obama, oh my God, I bet if I was to look it up right now, the amount of times that, let's see, give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to give you examples because I think Barack Obama was one of the worst. So Joe Biden was the worst. I would say Obama was actually middle. If I wouldn't put Obama as the worst, but he has a lot of blood on his hands too. And I think that the romanticism of Obama is actually more disgusting than the Well, actually, no, I take that back. Trump has there's a lot of fanboys that love Trump. I love Trump. I'm not going to back everything, but if you think Obama's hands were clean, that is severely disturbing, because he was probably one of the most. He did it silently too. The drone strikes were a big deal. The amount of times he drone striked other countries was actually unbelievable. Like, it's insane. I'll go over it here in just a second, but it's just. I hate it when people romanticize presidents like that, because I like Trump, but I don't romanticize him. I think he's the man. I kind of see him like a bro. You know what I mean? Like, I have a very bro love of him, but I don't like worship the ground he walks on. Like, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm surprised. Eagle, I love you, brother, but I'm surprised you like Obama, to be honest, because he was just as bad. I could probably give you a plethora. Okay, how about this? So, let's see. Da-da-da-da. Second. By the way, the healthcare.gov launch was pretty rough, but don't forget about the drone strikes, by the way. Civil liberties concerns. There was a continuation of mass surveillance, later deemed as unlawful, and targeted killing policy for U.S. citizens abroad. That was a big deal. But yeah, let's see. Give me a moment. But the drone strikes were a big deal. Everybody complains about like what Trump was doing like to Iran with the bombing of those facilities. Dude, drone strikes happened a lot under Obama. Like, that's a big deal, man. But yeah, honestly, I think Obama and Trump, if we're going to compare, are basically the same dude, just one's orange and the other's not. You know, I would actually compare Obama. I mean, Obama, they're both showmen. Trump and Obama were both showmen in a lot of ways. I'm not saying that Trump is the greatest president of all time, but I'm not going to say that Obama. I think Obama was pretty mid. He's not the greatest. He's not the worst. Joe Biden, in my mind, is the worst. Jimmy Carter is number 2 on the worst scale. Yeah, that's my opinion on that one. But yeah, to act like Obama had clean hands as president is disgusting. I'm not a fan of that. Like, you can say what you want about my love of Trump, but like, I don't understand why anybody could say that Obama. I thought Obama was all right. But don't act like he had clean hands through his administration at all. Like, it's yikes. So, okay, there was hundreds of strikes outside areas of active hostilities. The U.S. intelligence community reported 473 strikes in 2009 to 2015 and 53 in 2016 in places like Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia, with 2,372 to 2,581 combatants and 64 to 116 non-combatants killed through 2015 and one non-combatant in 2016. Independent tallies are higher. The Bureau of Investigative Journalists estimates 563 strikes in, wow. That's a lot of strikes, dude. Yeah. Hostages killed by a U.S. drone. That was Pakistan, January 2015. Yeah, honestly, the things that you can trash Trump about, you could trash Obama about, right? The problem is Obama had his ass kissed by the media, and Trump did not have his ass kissed. That's the biggest difference. Obama should have gotten the Trump treatment, if we're going to be honest, but Obama was very tight with the media, whereas Trump was like, you guys are scumbags on the media front. You guys on the mainstream media, you're scumbags. Totally makes sense to me. Totally makes sense to me. So honestly, when it comes to some of the atrocities, some of the things, you could say that Obama and Trump were no different. You really could make that argument. So I do believe that there's been overreach by Trump, but there was definitely overreach by Obama too. So like to say that both of these guys are not in the same league when it comes to overreach, don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. It's just ridiculous. But no, I can't stand it when people say Obama was the greatest president ever. I'm like, nope. He was mid. I think he was okay. I don't think he was by any means the worst. He was good at his job. I'll admit it, Obama was a good president, but not great. He was mid. He was good enough. But he had a lot of, in my opinion, skeletons based on some of these reports. It's insane. Yeah, Obama was about the image, not about the substance. This is the thing. Now, you can also say the same about Trump. I think that Trump is about image, but I think he also does care about the substance. I do think he has a big vision for America. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if Trump runs again in 2028 and somehow it becomes legal for him to run again, I'd vote for him. Why not? I'd rather have J.D. Vance if we're going to be honest. I'm voting for Vance one way or another. I'm hoping Vance runs because honestly, I think he's probably the next best leader of the Republican Party. I'm all about Vance 2028, baby. Vance in my pants 2028. Let's go. Let's effing go, dude. But yeah, no, I love you, Eagle, but there's a lot of atrocities under the Obama administration that I think need to be pointed out. Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, obviously he wasn't able to end the Ukraine war in a day. That's true. Without a doubt. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, though. The more subscribers we have, the better. Boom. Hit that right there. Hit that subscribe button. More subscribers we have, the sexier the show gets. It gets very, very sexy, very steamy. And, yeah. Kemoy Chapman says, I'm not voting in 2028 as I don't vote for presidents. That's understandable. Yeah, I get it. You know, that's not everybody's cup of tea. And look, at the federal level, I just want, here's the thing at the federal level I want a president who's willing to dismantle a lot of the federal programs, a lot of federal agencies, I should say, because I don't believe the federal government should have that much agency over people's lives. I really don't. I'm not a fan of it. Oh, also, like I said, yeah, just hit that subscribe button right there. Hit it. Hit it, don't quit it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blew his mind, couldn't save the wealth. All right, I got to pee. If anybody's got to pee, feel free to go pee. Do your thing, man. Well, I'm gonna pee. In my pants. I gotta take a number 2 real quick. BRB. BRB. So I'm so now Tim Smith, that's a good one, man. But I will say this though, Trump did what he had to do. I mean, like, look, all it takes is just reopening the government. The Democrats don't want to do that. So if the Democrats were serious about this, which they're clearly not, they just want it to look bad on Trump. But honestly, everybody's blaming the Democrats right now, dude. I think we can all point the finger that the Democrats need to freaking compromise. It's doing more damage to have the federal government shut down this long. More people are being affected negatively. Government can't provide every single effing service. So we just need to buckle down, get something passed, do a continuing resolution. They can negotiate what else they need to negotiate. But yeah, this is getting ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. No, absolutely we need a smaller government, without a doubt, brother. Hell yeah. Without a doubt. Sure. Yeah, government should not be our daddy. Absolutely. You ain't gonna get any argument from me there, brony brother. Hell no. Yeah, we absolutely need smaller federal government. Yeah. So you guys were almost to 6,100 subscribers. We're 6 subscribers away from getting to 6,100. So if you guys can, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button up there. Give me one moment. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More subscribers the better. But yeah, here's the thing, man. I have a very deep savings account because I had realized that my employer was going to fire me at some point just because the way they were treating me, the way they were discriminating against me. And so I have a very deep savings account. I'm just going to put it that way. My savings account is very, very deep. So... luckily I'm good no matter what happens, but at the same time, man, it's just like, ugh. You got to keep, as I always say, man, keep a deep savings account. It's probably one of the best things I could say. It's the best thing I could do in all actuality. Dude, Cartesi, man, I had the best stats on the team. Are you kidding me? I had the best fucking stats on the team. It was proven. I consistently took more calls than everybody. I consistently had decent stats in general. So I don't know. I was really pissed. And that wasn't even, by the way, that wasn't the reason they fired me. They made up a BS reason. They lied about me. They fabricated. They said I was unprofessional. And no, I was not. They were just looking for an excuse to get me out of that company. They needed a viable excuse. And it wasn't one. It was a lie. They got tired of me. First off, it was all because I narked to HR about my team lead being a total piece of garbage to me. That was a big deal. But yeah, my team lead was absolutely trash to me. And it was rough to deal with. It's fucking rough, dude. No. Then if I had terrible performance, why didn't they fire me for terrible performance then? Huh? Why did they have to make up a BS reason of unprofessionalism? You tell me that. Because I wasn't. I wanted to keep that job because it was a decent paycheck and I was good at the job. I just didn't like talking to a manager who was mentally abusing me. It was stupid. Ridiculous. So, yeah. Tim Smith said Garza led his team in yards after catch. T-Tech covered up the stats and accused him of fumbles that never... That's a good one, brother. I love that shit. That's funny. That's funny, man. I love it. Pittman Adams says, Cartrissi, you sound demented. I don't know. I just like making you upsetty spaghetti. Kevin says you mentally abuse yourself on Cam Daily. A little bit. Just a bit. Give me 1 second, folks. I gotta adjust something here. Hard to shake it now. Hard to shake it now. Looking back at the past, I probably couldn't make it last, but all you ever had to go. Hard to shake it now. Hard to shake it now. Where holds on. No, yes, yes. No spicy. Yum, yum. Can you guys train me on how to be the most epic e-girl of all time? I'm trying to be the greatest e-girl there ever was. And I want to be the very best, like no e-girl ever was. I want to be an e-girl now. I've got to do my shit. I know I am the frickin' man, and everybody's jealous. I'm in a man thong and I understand. I don't respond to people who type in all caps lock, Sandman. I'm sorry. Sandman, I don't... If you're typing in all caps, I'm not going to respond to you. All right? I don't respond. I mean, unless it's a super chat, I'll make an exception, obviously. I'm a simp for super chats, obviously. But if you're going to be in all caps mode, I'm not gonna tolerate it. I'm not gonna read it, you know. Because I am a simp for the simps. And I am a pimp for the pimps. I'm triggered. What is going on? The Pittman and Sandman are like bromantically involved in my chat right now. I'm drinking some pomegranate juice. Hell yeah. Who said I'm a beta male? All y'all acting like I'm a beta male, which is pretty accurate because I'm a pussy. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right there. Pittman says, keep your fantasies to yourself. Hey, I want to fantasize about Sandman and Pittman doing yaoi. Professor Oak, dude. I love Trump, dude. If it were possible to do Trump 2028, hell yeah. But since it's not possible, we're going to do Vance 2028. How's that sound? I'm down for Vance 2028, baby. Vance in my pants instead of walls on my balls. Hell yeah. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right there. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah. I just think that people who talk in all caps, man, it's just so frustrating. Like Song Jones, that's another person who comes on this channel and literally every fucking message is all caps, dude. Calm the tits, dude. Calm yo titties on the all caps, everybody. Yeah, clowns do type in all caps. I can't stand it, dude. I just don't understand. So many people who come into the chat, they're all typing in all caps, baby. That's all they know how to do. All they got. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. More super chats, the better. Here you go. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Hit it. We're almost to 6,100, by the way, on the subscriber count. So if we can get to 6,100, that would help us quickly. We're six subscribers away from 6,100. But welcome to the show, Sam, man. You know what? I understand you type in all caps. I just got to accept you for who you are. I got it. Pittman says doesn't know how to use the keyboard. Extra attention hopping. They do it for extra attention, hoping you read. I'm reading all of it, man. I'm reading all of it, man. Unfortunately. That's funny, dude. Yeah, I feel bad for that dog, by the way. Like, the more I read up on this whole Hassan thing, the more I'm like, dude, can somebody save that dog? Like, I just feel like he uses the dog as a prop for his show. It's disgusting. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Hassan. Also, Hassan is a champagne socialist, and I can't stand champagne socialists at all. Like, if you're a real communist or socialist, stop benefiting from capitalism, please. Stop participating in it. Stop using a cell phone, because a cell phone would have never been invented in a communist country. Things don't get invented in communist countries. The only thing that gets not invented but, rediscovered is Great Depressions. Socialism doesn't work. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. LOL. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We're 6 subscribers away. 6 subscribers away. I can't believe it. We're just 6 away from reaching from 6,100. Thank you, Sam, man. I appreciate you subscribing, brother. I appreciate the simp scribe, man. Hell yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe first. Super Chat's red. Boom. One moment. I'm going to read Tim Smith's super here, and not super, but his chat here in a second. What is Tim Smith saying here? Tim Smith is saying former Pokemon world champion Wolf Glick cites groping as one of the reasons he likely won't attend in-person tournaments. Again, the veteran player says he was touched inappropriately multiple times. That doesn't surprise me in any way. I mean, wait, he was a dude? There must be a lot of Pokemon chicks. Maybe it's dudes. Is it dudes that are touching him? Maybe it's dudes. Crazy. Skippy, you probably realize that there's probably a lot of dudes who are touching him. I mean, if you're gay, then that's fantastic. Then you love it. But if you're straight, it's probably going to be dudes. Just going to say that right now. Some of these comments, man, always make me laugh. You guys do a good job of brightening up my day. This is one of the reasons I love doing this show, this live show, is I never know what kind of chat conversations are going to spawn up. And if I said the chat doesn't influence the show, I'd be lying to all of you guys. I'd be lying. Skippy, I'm not going to answer that question. I refuse to answer racist questions. It's race. I don't answer racist questions. Is the chat being racist is the question. Is the chat being super racist and homophobic? Is the chat being homophobic towards me? Ooh. So lightning reported right now in Coos Bay, you guys. Lightning is being reported here in Coos frickin' Bay. Has a high wind warning, and lightning was just reported. Where was it at? I'm trying to see where the lightning was at. So it was located here. How do I detect lightning on the internet? Let's see. Lightning strike map. I will say if the stream goes down, I want to apologize to everybody. My pronouns are Zay, Zem, Zer, Zong, Zoltan, Mr. Data. I need to look at WeatherBug. I don't know why it said that there was. Let's look at the lightning strike map. Let's see here. Lightning alert from 239. Oh wow, no, 8.9 miles away. Let's see. Closest strike. Remain in a safe area until there is no lightning within 10 miles of your location for 30 minutes. Please be aware that lightning activity can remain high even when a storm is moving away from your location, even if rain has stopped. Don't leave your area until safe. WeatherBug indicates that lightning is more than 10 miles away from the site location. Avoid water, high ground, open spaces. Avoid all metal objects, including electrical wires, fences, Find a safe area in a building or a fully enclosed vehicle with the windows completely shut. Unsafe places include underneath canopies, small picnic or rain shelters, convertibles, or near trees. Okay. Yeah, let's see. If indoors, avoid water and stay away from doors. Okay. Avoid using a hardline telephone. Take off headphones. Turn off, unplug, and stay away from appliances, computers, power tools, and TV sets. All right, man. I do actually have one of those, what do you call it, shock resistant things. Like it, oh, damn. One that happened 5.9 miles away. All right. Lawn, dude. Lawn is bricked up, dude. Hey, thank you, by the way, rectal thermometer. Thank you for the happy poop emoji. By the way, if you guys want to send me really cool happy poops and stuff, you know, like look at Rect Thermometer. Rect Thermometer sent a happy poop emoji for 10 joules. So if you guys want, use your joules and send me gifts, dude. I want you guys to be my zaddies, my sugar zaddies. Kemoy Chapman says, I identify as Garza's sugar daddy. Hell yeah, dude. Happy poop emojis, Rect Thermometer, dude. Oh, 37, 30, 39, 40, 42. Oh my God. He's comboing, dude. You can't stop the combo. Dude, you can't stop the combo. You can't stop the combo. 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. Dude, the combo continues. What is happening? What is happening? 69. Oh, dude. 69 happy poop emojis for 10 joules apiece. That was the biggest combo we've ever seen for the happy poop emoji or any of the emojis that have been shown on this. Wow. I gotta see that for myself, dude. My man, dude, sending happy poop emojis, dude. What a beast. By the way, if you guys want to send me a gift, I will not refuse. My God. Thank you for the jewels, my man. I appreciate it, brother. My Bruni brother. Standing on the edge of forever, at the start of whatever. All right, let's see here. Ooh, hold on. So Tim Smith is saying 19-year-old arrested for felony strangulation in Coos Bay domestic incident at Wayfarer Lane residence. Damn, dude. It's getting weird here. Sometimes it gets a little weird in Coos Bay, man. It gets a little bit freaky. Damn, dude. City Council receives gifts from Coos Bay's sister city of Choshi, Japan. Wait, Coos Bay has a sister city in Japan? Really? Local coffee shop. I didn't even know that, dude. Tim Smith also says local coffee shops are here to stay after Coos Bay Starbucks closes in nationwide restructuring. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Well, Starbucks is... Yeah, I live in Oregon, unfortunately. It's not always the best situation, but you know, I like living next to the ocean. I love that aspect of it. So I mean, there's plenty of goodness about that, but living next to the ocean is probably the best part about this. And yeah. I am Latino. Yes, my grandfather was from Mexico. I am Latino. Shockingly. They call me Fat Tino. So I'm doing a little bit of fantasy football, and I should be able to get Tyrone Tracy because somebody dropped him. So I'm hoping that I'm able to pick him up from the waivers. If that is the case, I have my running back handcuff for Cam Scatabo, which is sexy. So if Cam Scatabo gets injured for whatever reason, I got Tyrone Tracy to back him up. Well, Oregon's a beautiful place, and I'm also part German, so I'm able to handle this climate. I'm part Mexican, but technically I say Hispanic, I guess. But yeah, I'm surprisingly Latino. Surprisingly, I'm like Jennifer Lopez. In that sense. Don't be fooled by the schlong that I got. I'm still Michael Suckin. No. Oh, damn, lightning strikes are happening. Oh, man. Lawn Some Dove says... Yeah, Fent Addict is the most common. Oregon's all look. I think Oregon's pretty, but we're ran. Our state government is ran so poorly. I would say the Democrats have ruined Oregon just the same way that the Democrats have ruined California with too much socialism and stuff. It's crazy, man. But yeah, lots of lightning strikes within 5.9 miles of me right now. Crazy. Oh my God, really? I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Look, man, I hope that they at least, honestly, to prevent massive chaos, I really do hope that people's SNAP benefits get reinstated. Look, the amount of things, look, I don't want people to stack at zero. I don't believe people should just go hungry by any means. But, yeah. It doesn't surprise me that any of this is happening. Lone says, Tim, they already have. They got vids. Oh, damn. Really? Martin says, is that your... This is pomegranate juice in a Raiders cup, unfortunately. I'm not a fan of the Raiders, but I was like, oh, That's a nice sized coffee cup, and I don't know. I like to throw people off. I want people to think I'm a Raiders fan. No crap, really? Dude, that's insane, Lone. Holy fuck, dude. Tim Smith says Mariners versus Blue Jays game 2. Oh, you mean Dodgers versus Blue Jays? I'm assuming game 2 tonight. Canada government put out a fake Ronald Reagan and saying he was against tariffs, or Trump raised tariffs. That's funny, dude. That's funny, dude. Trump is just gonna keep raising tariffs on Canada straight up. I mean, he might. I don't know. That's my prediction, at least. Oh, you're good, though, brother. You're good. When I saw the Mariners Blue Jays, like, oh, no. Oh, man, I still wish the Mariners would have made the World Series, man. Look, as somebody who's been watching the Mariners since I was a wee lad. I was a wee lad watching the Mariners, and I've been wanting them to go to the World Series for so freaking long, man. Standing on the edge of forever, at the start of whatever, shouting love at the world. Back then, we were like cavemen. Dude, that wind is crazy. Lone is asking, do I do karaoke? Yes, I do. I like karaoke, dude. I love singing. I don't really go to the bar as much anymore. I actually haven't gone to the bar in a long time. But I'll tell you what I like to do, man. I love singing, man. Standing on the edge of forever, at the start of whatever, shouting love at the world. Back then, We were like cavemen, but we mapped the moon and the stars. Then we forgave them. We will meet you where the lights are, the defenders of the faith we are. When the thunder turns around, they'll run so hard they'll tear the ground away. Yeah. You know, no one dies in these love-drowned eyes. Through our love-drowned lies, we'll watch you sleep tonight. And although no one understood, there was more of them than us, learning how to dance the rain, learning how to dance the rain. We were holding back the flood, they say we never dance again. Hey, you got the skills, brother. I wouldn't say I've always been the best singer, but I love to sing, you know? I think singing's fun. I think if you love to sing, you should sing. Watch your mouth, son, or you'll find yourself floating home. All right, I gotta sing better songs. I gotta sing more songs. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Yeah, tap it. Don't tap it with your tip, though, but tap the subscribe button. Yeah. We need more simps and we need more pimps. Oh, yeah. But yeah, the more subscribers we get, the better. It does push the show out to a wider audience out there, and we're always trying to reach a vast, very sexy audience. Wow. I mean, it's crazy, man. Lightning strikes are supposed to keep happening and probably until 3:09. Oh, wow. 5 miles away. Yeah, we'll see how close these are getting, man. These are getting real close. They're getting very, very close. Oh, my God. If you want to be a pimp, then you gotta be a simp. If you want to be a pimp, then you gotta be a simp. Do you want to be a simp or do you want to be a pimp? I don't even know what to say. Everybody get away. Are you gonna be a simp or are you gonna be a pimp? Everybody loves my body. Everybody thinks I'm sexy. Do you think I'm sexy? I don't know. Do you think I'm sexy? You don't know. Do you think I'm sexy? All day long. Do you think I'm sexy? In a juicy man thong. My ass is juicy and my ass is plump. Everybody thinks I'm going to take a dump. My ass is juicy and my ass is plump. Everybody thinks I'm going to take a dump. My ass is juicy and my ass is plump. Everybody is gonna think I'm taking a dump. And everybody's jealous of my mussy. Pussy is the mussy. My mussy is the pussy. Everybody's jealous of my mussy.